Hey everybody, Cammie here. Boy, the sun is really out. It's rained all week, and now this sun is just absolutely coming down from heaven. Lord, help us. Oh, it's so hot, but I'm sure that the plants are really going to love it. I've had the best time with all of my herbs and peppermints and just smelling so good. But it came a time that I really needed to go ahead and preserve some, but I don't really have enough yet to go into full-fledged dehydrating, which is usually what I do. But I wanted to try a few different methods and a couple. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you for this breeze. Thank you in Jesus' name. That feels so good. It is so hot. But anyway, so I wanted to try a few different methods that I've seen before. One using ice cube trays and the other using salt and sugar. And today what I'm working on is basil and lemon balm and two kinds of peppermint. Just the regular, I think it's going to rain again now. That's what they always say about Alabama. If you don't like the weather, stick around, it's going to change. And it's true. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, peppermint and then some chocolate peppermint that we have. And so let's go on in the kitchen and we'll just see what kind of trouble we can get into, okay? And I'll see you on the other end. Now that I have my herbs, listen to that thing. Now that I have my herbs harvested, I just want to give them a good wash. Make sure there's not any bugs, debris, there's some kind of little something. So, and the way I'm going to do that is with just water and a little bit of dash of vinegar. Now, when I'm preserving these, I'm not going to taste the vinegar, but the vinegar is just going to help get out any nasties. I'm pretty sure that my herbs are cleaner than what I would get at the store, but I still just want to err on the side of caution. I'm just going to let these sit for a little bit. Not long. It won't take long. And then I'll clean the water out, and then I'll dry them. And then I'll be able to start preserving some. So let's let these sit for a bit, and then I'll lay them out to dry, and I'll bring you back. So all I did was go back and pour out the water that was in the sink that had the vinegar in it, and then I just rinsed it again, rinsed all of the herbs again, and now I have out a big dishcloth, and I'm going to just fold it over so that all of these can dry. And that shouldn't take that long, I don't think, because we can help them along too if we have to. But anyway, this is what I have so far. Today, there's two ways that I plan to preserve some of my basil. Let me see if y'all can see this. I have some of this Himalayan, the pink salt, and I'm going to use that. And the first thing I'm going to do is layer. I'm going to preserve some of my basil leaves by making basil salt. And basically, what you do, make sure y'all can see this, what you do is you layer your salt, and I'm using the pink, it's my salt of choice for this. You're going to layer, and make sure that your basil leaves are dry too. You're going to just layer them, and if you have to, you can use your fork. And what's good about this is that not only will you be preserving that basil, but you're basically making an infused salt, which is going to be delicious on just several recipes. Now I want to make sure as I check these that they are truly dry. And some of my leaves are bigger than others, so I'm just kind of going through. Just kind of pat them dry. This basil smells so good, y'all. This is going to be really good. And I'm just putting it in a pint-sized ball canning jar. Or is that Harvest? What is, yeah, this ball. And if you don't want to preserve this much in the salt, then you can always get like just a smaller container, and but honestly, I'm doing it more for the salt, I think, than the preserving, because I can just think of a lot of different recipes where I'm using salt in savory dishes, and to have that hint, to have a hint of basil will just be phenomenal. Love basil. Okay. It's raining outside. It was storming earlier and it's just, ugh. I'm glad I went ahead and got this all out earlier because I wouldn't want to be out there right now trying to get any of this. Okay? So see how we've got that layered? And I'm just going to put a lid on it. And that's it. So there's our first little project with our basil. This is a 10 pounds of the Himalayan salt that I got on Amazon, and it is heavy. Okay? Now, for our next project with the basil, we're going to take our leaves. And this isn't going to matter really that much if these have a little bit of water still left on them. They really don't, but if they did, it'd be okay. Put that big leaf. Look how big that leaf is. Can you see that? See? That one needed to be picked. And I'm just going to roll these up and cut them like this in a row. And there's the foam. And now what I want to do is literally just kind of give them a good rough chop, because I want these to truly be the way that I would probably use them in cooking. Okay? And then the next thing you want to do is just get you a old-timey, I know you can still find these. Not sure where I got these. I might have got these at Walmart or Dollar General one. But just an ice cube tray. And you're just going to divide these out equally as best you can. Some I'll have to okay. Look at that. That one needs a little more. Might have to rob Peter to pay Paul with some of these. Okay. And then, after we've got that done, we're just going to take our olive oil, and this is just what I've got opened right now. It's the, hope you can see that, it's the Members Mark, so this came from Sam's Club. I either get it from there or from Costco most of the time. Okay, and we're just going to fill up our cubes with the olive oil. Now, what's good about this is we're going to put some saran wrap on this and make sure he gets down. And we're going to freeze this overnight. And then after it's frozen, we'll be able to pop these in a baggie or, you know, a piece of Tupperware, something that will work in your freezer. And then when you want to use it for sauteing or anything that you would usually start off with some olive oil, you can grab one of these out of there and use it for your saute and have that olive oil and the basil together, and that'll be really, really good in some recipes. So I'm going to cut you off for a minute while I get my saran wrap, and then I'll show you how I'm going to wrap it up. Okay. I've got my plastic wrap, and I want to make sure that I really get this wrapped good, because this is not a mess that you want in your freezer. So I'm going to wrap this way, and then I'm going to use some more and wrap it. And wrap it going the other way too, because I want to clean that up. Oops, sorry about that. Okay. Then I'm going to just set this to the side, and we'll have that ready to go. Now, let me wash my little chopper upper and cutting board is what I'm trying to say, and put the things up for the basil, and then I'll show you the next thing that I'm going to do. This little plant is called lemon balm, and if you've ever grown lemon balm, then you know that it has just an extremely fragrant flavor, and it smells and tastes a lot like lemon. So I'm going to take the stem. We don't want the stems. We just want the good leaves. Let me get all these up. Get all these together, and then we can work on the next part. Yeah, you don't want the stem. You just want the leaves. Okay. Now, I'm going to try kind of roll these up like I did the basil, and just cut them in rows. Oh, it smells like lemons. And then just give it a rough chop. Okay, and what I'm doing with these is, this time, instead of olive oil, I've got my ice cube tray full of water, and I'm just going to divide it out. Might have to add a little bit more in those two. And you don't need a whole lot, but what you're going to do with this is freeze it, and then for your tea, water, whatever you like to drink, that yeah, I'm going to have to add some of them I didn't give enough water to. Whatever you like to drink, this is just going to give it a nice little fresh summer flavor to it. And like we did, or going to do with the basil, all we're going to do with this is just wrap it up with a saran wrap, the plastic wrap, and we're going to put it in the freezer overnight, and then once we have it totally frozen, then we can pop them out of the ice cube trays and put them in a baggie, and then you just, however many ice cubes that you want, you can you'll have. So let me go fill these up just a little bit better on a few of these, and then I'll be back. Once again, we're going to start one way. Be careful so that you don't have a spill. And then with more of the plastic wrap, we'll go this way. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, when I get ready to put these in the freezer, I'll put both of these on a baking tray so that they'll lay flat, and then we'll be ready to just wait for them to freeze and give us all that deliciousness. Make sure there's not any salt on that. There's not. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use sugar in the same way that we use the salt, and we're going to preserve some peppermint. I just think that that would be delicious to have peppermint sugar to use in cookies, or if you're flavoring your tea or coffee or whatever, cut your hot chocolate, just whatever, you know, you will use sugar to give that just a little bit of a hint of peppermint. You could even work on this now, and then at Christmas, after it's had a really good time to for the flavors to incorporate, you could maybe give this as gifts. Trying to get just these bigger leaves. Make sure I've still got y'all in. Okay. So. I've got my leaves. I've got my big scoop, but I'm not going to use that. Y'all, I need to write that over again, don't I? And you just put a layer. And just layer it. You could even do this with the lemon balm and have like a lemon sugar. That would be really good too. And with this, as far as the salt, you could do the salt and preserve oregano or whatever. Most of the time when I'm preserving, it's with my Excalibur. But this is just a nice way to get something that's a little bit different too. Because the herb infuses into either the sugar or the salt, and it's just really good. Let me see. Those are trying to, and these are dry. My mint has just really taken off. And it's still early in the season, so I'm hopeful to have a really good harvest. And my basil is actually doing good this year. we'll put those little guys right there. Okay, and there's our peppermint. Now the last one I have is, I like to grow chocolate mint. And I'm not going to show you what, I'm going to do it too, but you get the gist. It's basically with the chocolate mint, you just do the same procedure that you did with the regular peppermint. You want to just leave off the stems and get the leaves, and then you're just going to alternate between the mint and the sugar. I think some chocolate chip cookies would be really good made with that sugar. Don't y'all? They smell so good. I hope you enjoyed that video. I had a great time just kind of experimenting with herbs. You know, I love dehydrating, but sometimes you just want to try a few different things. I hope that you did find some ideas, some you know, some inspiration. Get in there and just try out different ways of preserving. I'm really looking forward to sauteing whatever with the basil and olive oil. Oh, that's going to be so good and so convenient too, because you just pop out a cube and just throw it in, and that's going to be really nice. And the thought of some chocolate chip cookies using that sugar with the mint. Now that's going to be an experiment. I'll have to take y'all along when I do that. It's just all going to be good. It's all going to be wonderful. And lemonade with some of that lemon balm in the ice cubes. Yeah, I'm getting all kinds of ideas here. It's so hot too. I wish I had some lemonade right now, y'all. I'm telling you. Yesterday I thought we were going to be blown away, and today it's just hot as everything. But they're saying that we could get some more rain this afternoon, so we'll see. You know, all I know is that my garden likes it a lot better when God waters it than when I do. Anyway, that's all I have for today. I want you all to know how much I appreciate you, how much I appreciate all that you do for the channel. And if you would, just give us a like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. And like I always told my kids growing up, be nice to everybody and do your best. Y'all be blessed. Till the next time.